So let me just get this out of the way to begin with. I'm only going to address this one time, and then I'm never addressing this again because I find it absolutely stupid. The reason I wear sunglasses, number 1, because I can. Number 2, makeup makes me break out. Number 3, makeup is time consuming. Number 4, eye makeup irritates my eyes. Number 5, sometimes the lights are too bright. Number 6, because I thought maybe, just maybe, if people like Tim Dillon or Andrew Tate or Critical Drinker could wear sunglasses in their videos, then maybe I could too and not have an issue. But apparently, for some dumb reason, people keep asking this stupid question. And so there you go. You have your answer. Now shut up.
I wear glasses because I'm blind. Nobody ever asks why I wear glasses.
Okay, so what we're reacting to, there's a video by Curly Boy Chuck, and he is reacting to a video by some channel that I've never heard of. It looks very similar to Jubilee, and it's trans women versus real women. Now, the reason why we're not reacting to the original video is because it's very long, and because maybe, just maybe, we won't get demonetized if we react to someone who has clipped and reacted to that video already. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, Blossom is in it, and it's gonna be a nightmare, but we're gonna get through it together.
I want to know in the comments how many of you guys came just to hear us talk about Blossom. And we're actually curious why.
Why?
You can
Why
tell us while
exactly?
you watch this. Maybe you'll find the reasons as you watch it, but still.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a clip that I saw, or a video that I saw here on YouTube from a channel that had trans-identifying men versus conservative women talking about trans issues, the differences, maybe the similarities, and debating core issues. Now, I did watch the entire full video last night. It was great. And I pulled some clips from the video that I thought were the most important for me to talk about or to react to. So without talking too much or prolonging the intro, let's get right into this video. Buckle those seatbelts, folks. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
I don't disagree with you that I don't understand your lived experience because I've never lived an experience as a man or
I'm not living an experience as a man,
person.
and I just want to be clear to everybody in this room that I was invited here as a woman. So if we're going to engage in a conversation with each other, I would appreciate the respect of being talked to as a woman for this.
But that's not wrong. She didn't say that she's not addressing you currently as a woman. She's saying that at one point, y'all were boys.
Mm-hmm.
And at her position, she doesn't think that that makes you a woman because you weren't always a woman. But you won't even open to that conversation because you're saying what, you were invited here under the premise of the fact that you were a woman? That's like saying that you were driving under the premise you could run stop signs.
Conversation. You don't have to agree, but I'm not going to be in here and being talked to that way because we were invited here all as women.
You were actually invited here as a trans
Yes,
woman.
trans woman.
And when
That's
you
called
have to
distinguisher, friend.
When you put trans or another word in front of woman, it's not actually a real
Tall
woman.
woman?
It describes the woman.
Short woman?
It's an adjective.
You don't
It's
have
an
to do
adjective.
that for
Trans
a
woman
woman.
is a type of woman, and that goes under the whole umbrella of what woman.
I still think that it's extremely fair to say, by saying a trans woman, you are implying that you were at one point male. That's not even bigoted. That's not hateful. That is simply factual statements. In order to be trans, you had to have been one gender and then the other.
Trans woman is a type of man. Get it straight.
It is.
Womanhood is.
Okay, so in that clip, it got really testy because the actual woman had the nerve to say that I do not know your experience as a lived man because I'm a woman. And the trans person, I think her name is Stassi or something like that, I don't remember. They got upset, right? And said, oh my God, how dare you say that? I came here in good faith. You need to address me as a woman. I came here as a woman. No, you came here as a trans-identifying man, which is why you're sitting on a panel talking about trans versus women. Ta-da! That's number one. Number two, she wasn't even taking a snipe at you. What she was saying was, I don't understand your experience as a trans person, which is why I'm sitting here to have a discussion with you. I only know the experience of a woman who was born as a woman, not somebody who was trying to transition from man to woman. The fact that biology pisses these people off so much, the fact that merely mentioning that you were once a man or you still are a man is such a problem, sounds like a you problem. Not a me problem or a her problem. That's a you problem because we're talking about biology and science. The fact is that without biology, you wouldn't feel the need to medically transition. You wouldn't feel the need to socially transition, right? Because you would just be a woman, but you're not. Because biology speaking, you have XY chromosomes, which means your body is going to transition as you go through puberty to a full-grown man, which is the only reason.
I was gonna say that's still biology. All of this is still biology. To say that you can't be viewed as a man ever is redundant, ridiculous, and dangerous.
And you also can't make people view you as a woman if they view you as a man. It's impossible.
No. And I know people bring this up and people go, oh, that's ridiculous. But it's true. Are you going to a gynecologist? No. Are you going to have a prostate exam? Yes. And are you going to have to worry about breast cancer? Potentially, because you gave yourself breasts. But your implants won't get breast cancer. It'll be the breast tissue that you develop because you were taking estrogen. And obviously, men can also get cancer in their boobs. Guys can have man boobs.
Boobs.
Gynecomastia. Yes. But that doesn't make them women. You know how many men actually have, like, body dysmorphia because they have gynecomastia?
Yes.
Which is something that nobody talks about in these. You know who should get breast reductions? Those guys. I'm okay with that. They deserve them.
Most of those guys have it because they're overweight, but there are some men who just can't get rid of it.
There are some guys, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the exceptions where they're the guys with the, like, literal, like, hanging bags, but, like, not a heavy set torso. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate. And those kinds of people do suffer. And yeah, they could lose some weight, but that doesn't always fix the problem. Just like sometimes gender dysphoria is not going to be fixed. Without an idea of what biology is, we would have no way to transition you. Don't forget that. Never forget that. If we didn't know where you were starting from, we couldn't get you to where you want to get, to looking the way you want to look.
This panel should be called Giant Men versus Tiny Women.
I know, right?
Because they're freaking giant men, dude.
Can we please?
At least the ones up front.
I'm so sorry. Please put Blossom back up next to the school bus. That's the school bus I'm willing to die on because there's a big, strong man out there protecting us.
Okay.
Reason why you are medically transitioning and intervening to change your body to look like the actual real woman on the panel. That's because of biology. That's what she's talking about. She doesn't understand that experience because she wasn't born a man. That's all she's saying. And the fact that she couldn't even say that without getting all this pushback and fight from the trans people is just hilarious to me because you're fighting with the wrong person. I mean, honestly, what she said was 110% correct. You have a trans experience. And by the way, if you have to put trans in front of woman, that is an indicator that you are not a biological female. That's why you have trans in front of the word woman.
Trans, aka pseudo. Not real.
Trans as in
Fake.
something that has changed. Trans means on another side of, which means you were on one side and then moved to another side.
But it's still
In
on the same
this-
side of man. It's just
No, and that's the point. Is
they
it
didn't transition
you still-
into a biological woman.
No, that's
They're
just
still
biology.
a man.
But I'm saying the word trans in itself means that it changed.
Yeah, and pseudo means fake. And they're pseudo
Yes.
women.
I agree with you, and
Because they
it's-
act like men still. Mm-hmm. Like the only thing that's different about them is the way that they look has changed, but their personality still radiates manness.
because they have manness.
Exactly. The aggression of manness has never gone away. If they really wanted to convince people that they were more like women, they would act more like women instead of acting like men.
I drew your go.
Them saying, oh, what about a short woman or a tall woman? It's all adjectives. No, because a tall or short woman, if born XX, is a woman. Full stop. You are not. Why is that so hard to comprehend?
I will bring this back one more time, and then I'll shut up about it, I swear. Do tall women go to different doctors
No.
than short women?
No.
Do brown, and I'm so sorry if this offends anyone, but it's true, I'm a brown woman. Do brown women go to different doctors than white women?
No.
Why?
Because we're just all women.
Do trans women go to different doctors than women do?
Undercarriage doctors, absolutely.
Yes, therefore they have different medical exams that are
For-
recommended
yeah.
and required for their gender. Just saying.
Although there are some quote unquote trans women who go to the gynecologist and ask for an exam, and I think that's actually kind of.
I would assume that their version of the gynecologist is someone who monitors their gouge. Is gouge something I can say?
But that's not a gynecologist, though.
No, but that's their
plastic surgeon.
That's their gynecologist.
Well, they can call it whatever they want. They can call their gaping hole a vagina, but it's still a gaping hole, not a vagina.
They don't have to
self-lubricate.
They don't have to allocate money to tampons every month.
No.
They don't have to even worry about if they need a hysterectomy because they have PCOS. They don't have to worry of getting PCOS because they don't
You know
have
what
the
women don't have to do?
PCs. What the women have to what?
Women don't have to insert a into their vagina to keep it open.
No, even the most asexual of women don't have to do that. The things you'd think that would be like stitched shut. Yeah, no, even those.
Nope. Nope.
And yes, the person sitting besides the one at the end is our good friend Blossom, the professional troll and the professional victim. Don't interrupt a black trans woman. Let's keep rolling.
I am a personal believer that trans women do not have a competitive edge. We have trans athletes like Leah Thomas who won 5th place in swimming. She didn't win first place.
Actually, sir, you're wrong, and a simple Google search would have helped you because as you can see here from Google, Leah Thomas did win the NCAA championships in 2022. So there goes that point.
Now, the reality of it is we don't give trans men this same slack and this same mouth like we do trans women, right?
And so, first of all, the fact of the matter is that if you've put someone like Blossom next to someone like what's his name?
I mean,
the other content creator,
boyfriend,
the other content creator.
See them next to each other. You don't have to go far. Look at Blossom's relationship. I'm so sorry. And I just want to bring this up.
Marcus Dibb.
Yes, but Blossom is dating a trans man.
Mm-hmm. Put them next to each other. Tell me which one's the woman and which one's the man. You can tell. Pretty easy. Pretty easy.
And I'm only saying this because I don't know if you guys follow us on Instagram. Sometimes I go on and get a little involved. Sorry. But we had a whole Instagram debacle with Blossom.
Yes.
If you were there, you saw it. If you didn't, sorry. Where Blossom, after being on Piers Morgan, asked for $20,000 to even have a conversation with us.
Yep.
And then follow up on TikTok, which I'm sure you can still find if you look up videos that people added us in, is Blossom's boyfriend, we'll say, for the sake of context, basically threatened to unalive themselves because we said something negative about Blossom.
Which shows we need more institutions. Mental ones.
I don't know who you people are. All I know is that you say crazy shit like this. So with all due respect, stop speaking for the lesbians and the whole community when you have no idea how we feel and have no consideration for how we feel. Oh, and Blossom said my Hispanic heritage is not enough.
What's not enough?
It's not enough to be brown. I'm white adjacent. According to Blossom, Blossom only wants to hear the opinion of a black trans woman. Which, again, why do you need the whole LGBT community if you only care about one opinion from one very subgroup of that entire collective?
And apparently you guys don't even like black trans women because you just tried to cancel Laverne Cox. So what's up with that?
Right. It's crazy.
My question always becomes, why is that? Why do conservative women not give trans men the same flack that they give trans women in sports? I would love to know the answer to that question.
Okay, so I'm not a conservative woman, but I am.
Sorry, how do you not know the answer to this? Retard.
Somebody with common sense. And this is my video, so I'm going to respond. Sorry, Blossom. So to answer your question about why do people not make a big enough gripe about trans-identifying women competing in men's sports versus trans-identifying men like yourself, well, the answer is because of biology, the word that you hate. See, trans-identifying women are women living their lives as men. But, this is a crazy thought, biology doesn't care, which is why nobody's talking about trans men in sports, because trans men are not as competitive with the actual biology of real men in sports. I know, it's crazy how that works. So that would be why no one's talking about trans men when it comes to the trans people in sports conversation. Because trans identifying men or trans women are biological men competing against biological.
Also, here's the thing. In sports, you can't juice. And trans men are juicing. It's how they get the facial hair and all that stuff.
Well, even then, it doesn't.
You can't compete in sports if you're juicing.
It doesn't accommodate for the size difference, the weight difference, the height difference.
That's just one little thing.
And furthermore,
that adds to that.
Furthermore, what a misogynistic way to handle any situation. How can you blame the male-bodied people? You must be the female-bodied people. They have to get some blame too. Jeez, Louise. It's concerning to me how far they push against women to get the rights that they say they want.
Because they hate women. They can't hate biology because biology doesn't give a damn. It's going to do what it wants to do anyway. But you can hate women and invade their spaces and beat them up if you want. Although that just proves you're more of a man than you're willing to admit. So there's that.
I'm just so frustrated always with this.
Women.
You know what? It's really exhausting having to repeat the same talking points over and over again. Like,
It's all
you've been
repetitive.
I mean, Blossom
None of
has
this
heard
is-
these answers before.
None of this is anything new. We've talked about this. Blossom's heard about this.
Why ask the same questions? Blossom has heard this stuff before. He's asked these questions before. He's gotten responses before that were logical and correct responses, and yet he still continues to ask the same stupid questions.
No, at least that other one, the one that was talking at first. I don't know their names. I'm so sorry.
Doesn't matter.
At least that one had new material. We've seen that one before. At least that one had new material. You know what I mean? Like, at least that one was like, hang on, you're going to address me as a woman since I was...
Oh,
like,
just wait.
But that was...
He's got some other shit to say.
I know, I've seen him on some other stuff. But at least it was new. Like, you know what I'm saying? Blossom is the same over and over and over and over again. It's like repeating a track. Is Blossom AI?
When these trans women get pushed into corners, their manness really comes out and shows. It shines bright like a diamond.
I would say specifically people like Blossom and Blossom don't do any justice for the community and the people who are rationally minded in that community.
Neither does Whitey on the end, though. You'll see.
And you're not giving any bit of liberty to the other side of the argument. You're just fighting. It's crazy.
And as we know, there are physiological differences between men and women. It just is what it is. And at the end of the day, sports does not care about your identity. It cares about fairness. So these things matter. They matter. And it's why nobody's talking about trans men, because trans men are nowhere near the physicality of actual men when it comes to physical sports. Now, are there outliers? Of course there are outliers, but we shouldn't make full changes or have a full different perspective because of outliers. What it comes down to is the exception should never substitute the rule. And as we know, on average, women do not compete as well against men, even if you identify as a man. That will be the answer to your stupid question. You're welcome.
You are male, and so that is sad that you're taking that spot, or you're advocating for taking that spot
I would
away from a
appreciate
biological
the respect. The respect.
I don't think they
What
know
did I
how to
say
give
wrong?
the respect.
Well, some of them
What did I say
do.
wrong?
Some of them are being respectful.
You're a trans woman, you're biologically male. Is any of that wrong?
Did you hear the degrading sentence that just came out of that mouth? Some of them, the women, like they're sheep. I don't know if I can replay, but yeah, it just sounded so belittling. Some of them are understanding it. Some of them are finally.
I think we educated some of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
some of them are at least being
Yes.
what we want out
We're
of them.
better because we're trans women. We're better. Yes. There's no better or worse. If you act like an asshole, you're an asshole. Surprise!
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all,
I feel like I've been respectful.
No,
Once again, you have the trans folks getting testy because the word man was used in reference to sports, which this prompt is talking about. The biological woman is saying, at the end of the day, you are a man competing in a woman's sport, and all hell breaks loose. How dare you? 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 You're a man. That's how she dares. You're a man. Get out of women's spaces. Ta-da! I'm sorry, but I'm not coddling these people. I'm just not gonna do it. So find a safe space and cry about it.
I'm seeing the nuance a little bit. And what I wanted coming in here today was to be able to have a conversation about like trans women and conservative women, and hopefully we can find a middle ground somewhere. I want you guys to keep everything that you have and more. I want you guys to have all of your bodily autonomy, everything, all of that. I also want the right to mine. And just because you don't understand my experience doesn't mean that I should have it taken away or diminished because of the opposite side, I guess.
Here's the funny thing.
So to the same extent as what you're saying, I shouldn't have to give up my bodily autonomy to have private spaces to myself for your what did they just say? Autonomy, for your bodily autonomy, to believe that you should be in my space. If we have conflicting opinions and beliefs, then hypothetically, each of our autonomies are being infringed upon. And as much as I may not understand your experience, and as much as you may not understand my experience, that does not make it okay for either of us to infringe upon each other's spaces. That's the moral of the story. That's pretty much what she said. Just because you don't know where I'm coming from doesn't mean that you have any right to tell me what I should and shouldn't do with my body. When it comes to, like, sports and shit.
You're talking about the guy?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay, but we can't have our own spaces if they want to invade it because they're men. So what he's saying doesn't make any sense.
No.
I want you to have your spaces, and I don't want anything to get taken away from you except for when I decide I want to be in your space. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
You get to live by what I say is okay.
Yeah, whoa, patriarchy's winning again, isn't it?
About that clip, right? So I actually agree with the perspective of I just want to be able to live my life as an adult and make my own decisions and have bodily autonomy over my own body. I agree with that. I think every American should be able to make their own choice and their own decision as an adult. But if you notice in that prompt, it was specifically talking about, does the trans movement prey on children, or is there a push to, create this ideology for children, right? Are they targeting children? That was the prompt. And I found it funny that this trans individual decided to make it about themselves and their adulthood, completely negating the actual prompt, which was, are children being targeted with this ideology, which, unless you're living under a rock, abso-freaking-lutely they are. I call it a social contagion, okay? You have children who are a part of Gen Z and Gen Alpha who predominantly are now identifying as trans, which is odd because overall in the nation, only 0.1% of the population is actually suffering from gender dysphoria. So tell me how such a small, tiny, minute population is so massive in the younger generations coming up in schools. Something is happening. Something's going on. And we all know what it is. They're pushing their ideology in the books, in the curriculums, with rainbow flags everywhere. You have teachers that are now talking about their sexuality and their gender fluidity. When I went to school, the only thing I knew about my teacher was their last name. I didn't even know their first name. I knew nothing about my teachers, nothing personal about their lives, okay? It was math, science, and English. That's all they taught me. That's all they talked about. Nowadays, you go to public schools and teachers are coming out to their students, doing videos about, I just came out to my class. Why? That is called pushing an ideology. 1,000%. So yes, as an adult, do what you want to do amongst your adult friends. But when it comes to kids, shut up.
I don't think I should have to. I think if I were to use the pronouns that you don't want me to use, then you know what? It's tough. Like,
No, they get to reap the consequences of that.
what are the consequences?
That part.
Wait. This is extremely important.
Okay.
If she calls you he, him, what are the consequences? Because to me, that sounds like
I don't have to engage
that
in the
sounds like a
conversation.
threat. It does sound like a threat. And that's an issue if it's a threat.
So that 100% was a threat. In case you didn't hear, the woman was saying,
And what I say, when these trans women don't get their way, the madness shows right through. The threat of violence without saying it, but insinuating it.
Well, what other consequences could you be referring to?
Exactly. What social consequences? These women
These
don't
are
care.
They're known.
They don't care.
They are known, and we've seen them.
Yeah.
Like Jubilee and that one where they all hop on the button.
Yeah.
Whatever that one's called. We've seen them. Well, almost all of them, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen the clearest view of them, but almost all of them. And as far as I know, they've actually had success in their life from calling people out for what they see or for what they know. And to say that they're going to have consequences, obviously it's not going to be social. So you're going to send people to bother them, to harass them, because that's still a threat, even if it's not violent. Are you going to attack them yourselves? What are the consequences? I'm very interested, because everyone I know, even the ones who don't seem trans but say they're trans, won't lose their shit if I accidentally, or anyone accidentally or intentionally, says the wrong thing that from what they prefer.
When these kind of trans women get any kind of pushback, they have like verbal man mouth slippage, where it's like they'll say something that only a man would freaking say most of the time. That just proves to us as women that we are so correct in not wanting you in our spaces. And it's true. We don't want these guys in our spaces because when push comes to shove, they're going to be able to push and shove a lot harder than us. And they're definitely going to do it because what is a man's first response to a threat they've perceived as a threat? Violence. Most of the time. Women cower. Most of the time. We don't want to rock the boat. We're physically inferior when it comes to
Conflict with men, physically speaking.
Yeah. So you're just cosplaying trans at that point. If you're cosplaying woman and cosplaying trans.
Regardless of how true your gender dysphoria may be, you are simply playing out the life of the opposite gender. And I'm sorry if that hurts anyone's feelings, but it's true. And there are some people who are genuinely good in doing it, like genuinely decent people who don't want to hurt you, just want to be left alone and live their lives and have some friends and go out peacefully. And most people have achieved that. But people like this, people who yell and make it a big deal, are what causes those people not to go out peacefully. It causes more people to intentionally misgender them, despite the fact that they might be good people and trying genuinely hard just to live from what their perspective is a more comfortable life. And it's unfortunate, really. It's unfortunate that Blossom is the person talking for you right now.
It gives people the idea that all trans people are aggressive and nasty and just want their way and to invade spaces. It gives people an opinion, a negative opinion about trans people, trans women specifically, by these dudes in dresses acting like this. And no amount of force is going to change anyone's mind on the matter of you being a woman or not. Like, you can't force people to... That would be fascism.
It's not an opinion. That's the thing. It's not... Here's the thing. You said their opinion on whether or not you're a woman. It's not an opinion. There is fact. There is science. There's proof in your bones from where your pelvis sits and the hole from where your child is conceived at.
I get it.
There is...
I get it, but some people have an opinion that they are actually women.
You can have that opinion, but it's wrong. And no matter what, your skeleton, your bone density, your chromosomes will tell us all the truth.
Okay, so ixnay on the opinion A.
It's not, I mean, as much as you want to have that opinion, there's facts to prove that your opinion's wrong. Not yours. The opinion is wrong.
My point being, you can't force someone to believe in the crazy crap you believe in. It doesn't matter if it's the Bible or if it's that you're a woman when you're a man. You can't force people to do it. By forcing people to do it, that's getting into, like, master-slave dictator...
Crusades.
Fascism,
the
bad stuff.
The Inquisition.
Stuff that you preach against, you're doing it at that point. And that wouldn't actually be someone being respectful. They're just bowing down to you out of fear because they know that you're a physical threat. And there's nothing good about that. Nothing good comes out of that. What will happen from that is a whole bunch of people hating all trans women because of the loudest ones making their voices known and their opinions known. These are the ones in the people who are actually trans. You got to tell these people to shut the fuck up.
I'm telling you, it's their version of the Spanish Inquisition, because they forced their ideas onto specifically Jews and Muslims. They converted them to Christianity and like forced them to not practice the faith they truly believed in. That was the whole Spanish Inquisition. Mm-hmm. I was just making sure I was right, but yeah, it was a whole thing. Mm-hmm. And it's genuinely the same idea, except for the fact that you guys haven't literally started killing people.
Yeah.
Sorry, literally started unaliving people. Mm-hmm. YouTube.
Like, I could have a conversation with a a born-again Christian, and we could debate that without them wanting to beat me up. But you can't have a debate with trans women like that, because if you try to have a debate and them knowing you have a different belief and you speak differently than they do, they won't like it and they'll beat you up. So there's no conversation, or threaten to beat you up. And then there's no conversation to be had. Like, you can't have conversations with these people because they automatically get, I don't know why they're even there. Because they know these women don't believe that they're women.
Because they want attention. Attention.
Why even try to perform some sort of conversation and dialogue when we know for a fact you didn't come here for the dialogue? You came here to be a jerk.
Yes, because that's so far what they've made their money off of doing.
Yeah, and obviously you've seen how the acceptance of the LGBTQ, especially the T's, has went way down, cratered, and it's going to get worse. It's not going to go up from here.
No,
not the way it's been going.
That, because the prompt was talking about, should you address people by their preferred pronouns, yes or no? And what she was saying was, I've been respectful in this debate. I've called you all the pronouns that you want to be called. But if I chose not to, get over it. Like, I shouldn't be forced to use pronouns if I don't want to use pronouns. That's my right. And the trans person decided to come back with, well, then get ready for the consequences. Excuse me? The consequences, what is that a threat? Because that sounds pretty threatening to me. Now, the trans person went on to say, oh, no, I just meant that, the consequences would be me not talking to you, or me not addressing you, or me not communicating with you. That would be the consequence. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. That sounded like a threat to me. That sounded like, catch me outside. That sounded like, don't be mad when I whoop you outside in the parking lot. That's what that sounded like when it comes to consequences. And we've seen an uptick of people, mass shooters, who are trans-identifying, who are angry and pissed off, who have...
I was just thinking something. You know how, trans women, they want to blend in and be accepted, not be a threat. Or not be feared, I should say. But by acting like this, you're going to make more people fear you. So anytime you walk into any space, not just a female space, women are going to automatically fear you because they assume you're going to be a problem, regardless if they speak or not. Like, you could just give a look, and it might not even be that kind of look, and they're going to snap at you. You know what I mean? It seems like a lot of the loudest trans women on social media, the media, and all that stuff, they seem to be the ones who are the most reactionary, the ones who are the most threatening. And that doesn't make other people think that trans women aren't threatening. It makes other people think that all trans women are to be feared. And if you are feared in a space you want to be accepted into, the female space, then acting like this isn't the way to do it. It's actually it's going to have the opposite result. So I don't understand how they can't think that far ahead. Maybe it's because their head's in their ass, like I always say. But this, critical thinking is just demolished with these people.
They don't have it. They don't have it. And I'd like to say one last closing statement, at least about Blossom. I'm so glad that we live rent-free in that motherfucker's head.
Yeah, they get upset about a lot of stuff.
I think it's hilarious. I love the fact, most days couldn't care less about you. I'm not looking you up.
We don't even think about you. The only reason we're doing this video is because of the comments.
People love that we don't like you, honestly. And so thank you for bringing attention to our channel. And thank you for letting us live rent-free in that big old noggin of yours.
So that's pretty much the end of those clips from that.
Thanks whoever sent this to Blossom, because I know you guys do all the time. I don't know who does it, but I think it's really funny. Because every time we post a video where Blossom's in it, Blossom's on Instagram like, oh my God, they did it again. The little boy's talking about me. Off. You can bleep it. I don't care.
Blossom really thinks that offends you.
I don't really care.
You can call us guys all you want. I don't care. It's more irritating to know that they care to try to insult us.
For me,
you know what I mean?
It's more
annoying.
For me, it's more offensive to use our community, not only the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, all the other letter community, but also the people of color. Use that so heavily. And then when someone anyone, but specifically someone from both of those groups, has anything to say about it, it's war. You are the worst for the community because you don't allow a community. I've had conversations with people who definitely don't agree with me, and people who maybe slightly agree with me, and people who definitely agree with me. And you know what? I've had respectful conversations with all those people, and none of them have ever diminished my opinions about the community or anything because of my proximity to whiteness
Or threaten
or my
you.
lesbianism or misgendered me and called me a boy. You know why? Because they're respectful adults, and you are a literal troll. And I don't mean that in any derogatory way. You are an internet troll, and people only pay you to laugh at you. I'm never giving you a dime. We can have this petty fight online forever. Good fucking luck.
But I also find it funny how Blossom gets insulted by being called a man, and then in turn does the exact same thing
They all do
he
it.
tells you
A lot of
not
them
to
do
do. It's like,
Alexis Blake did the same thing when she called us the Panic Bros.
you're insulting yourself. You're not insulting us.
I don't
We know we're
care.
women. You're insulting yourself. You're actually diminishing your argument when you say not to call you men, and then
Yes.
turning around and then calling us men, misgendering us. It's
Because
like,
they think it's going to hurt us.
I know, but I don't know if that's more sad or pathetic because, they should understand it doesn't hurt us because we're not trans. We're actually women, so it doesn't offend us the way that it, breaks their brain. It's so bananas. I don't understand their logic at all. It's out there. Anyway, subscribe.
Comment below. Let me know. Are we too hard on Blossom?
Please, I was kind in this one.
I think I was kind too. I don't know. I
Nah.
think Blossom's ridiculous.
You're kind most of the time. I held back only because I'm too tired of doing this shit.
Unless Blossom really does something with allegations, I don't think we're ever gonna touch this again. I mean, it's so boring now. I don't mean that to dismiss your interest. If you really can give me a reason why you guys are interested in this, that maybe we can understand. Maybe we'll do it again.
Maybe ask some questions that we could answer, giving our opinions on in the comments. Maybe that would help.
Yeah, but other than that, what is there to say?
They're dumb.
Annoying, talks a lot. The fact of the matter is,
Making your side
take a
look
shot.
look really bad. Anyway, see ya.
Bye.
Crawling hard in love.